Hi, welcome to the episode. So, I am an idiot and I forgot to press record on my microphone. So sorry, but the first little bit of audio, probably the first I guess not little bit, but 20, 25 minutes of this episode is the audio might be a little off, but just power through, okay? Because we've gotten some really good some good questions and stuff. So I didn't want to re-record because I was enjoying the questions that we got. And I think you will too. So that's just why it sounds a little weird at the beginning. But other than that, enjoy and let's get into the episode. It's a good time. What if I did a live performance at the beginning of every episode? Would that be so much fun, or would everybody stop listening? That's a good question. I don't know. Hey. Oh my God. Sorry. I'm like trying to get comfortable in this damn computer chair. I'm still in Cody's office, obviously. Our house is never gonna be done, I don't think. But you know what? That's totally fine. Totally fine. Because there's good lighting in here. It will be done eventually. Hey guys, how are we? How is everyone doing? Welcome back to Circle Time. It's Kelsey Kreppel. Wait, oh my God, I didn't even tell you guys. I actually changed my last name. Isn't that crazy? Well, for Circle Time and work stuff, I'm still Kelsey Kreppel, but I did technically change my last name to Cody's last name. So I made that official and I tried to change it on my Instagram. My @ would obviously still be Kelsey Kreppel, but in the name that's in my bio or whatever the fuck, I wanted it to be Kelsey Kolajesic, my new last name, and they're reviewing it and they've been reviewing it for 2 months. So if someone at Instagram could help me out with that, I would really appreciate that because I would love for that to be changed. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Now my driver's license has my new last name and so does my passport and all of that stuff. And it's just crazy. When am I going to start saying that instead of Kreppel? Because right now, if someone's what's your last name? I'm it's Kreppel. But technically it's legally not, which is just so weird. For work, it's Kreppel, you know? For my sweet circlies, it's Kreppel. That's all that matters. What the circlies here. I'm drinking some coffee. The company Wandering Bear sent us coffee, and it is so good. It's you put it in the fridge, and it's a little spout, and it's cold brew that, I don't know. I love it. So good. Anyway, so today we have a very exciting episode. I put the voicemail link up on my Instagram story, or the Circle Time Instagram story at Circle Time Pod. I wanted to do a little voicemail episode. It's been so long since I've heard your beautiful voices, and I just love chatting about life and giving you guys some advice if I'm able to. I'm obviously not a professional, but I've been through some life. You know, I'm 30 and a half. Yeah, and I said, you can give me some tea, you can give me some drama, you can give me a silly story. It doesn't always have to be intense advice. I think it's fun, getting some goss, gossing with the girls. I want to goss with my girls. I want to goss with my circlers. And I just, I think it'd be fun to just goss a little bit, gab and goss. Oh my God, speaking of goss, I watched the movie The Fall Guy last night with Ryan Gosling. That's why I said speaking of goss. And it was really good. Okay, actually, we didn't finish it because, God forbid we put on a movie and finish it. If Cody's not in bed at 9:30 p.m., the world is going to end. So, unfortunately, it was getting to be past 9:30 p.m., and Cody was I can't stay up any longer. So we do have to watch, the last 30 minutes later. But from what I saw, which was the majority of the movie. I absolutely loved it. Could not recommend more. Anyway, back to gabbing and gossiping with my girlies. Let's go on. So if you want to leave a voicemail, there's a link to it in the description of this episode, wherever you're listening. You can find it there. And or if you're watching on YouTube, it's in the description. And just leave a little voicemail and we can listen together. Let's start out. And I have not heard any of these. I have no idea what they're going to say. But let's get into it.
Listen, I love you. But I've just started a new job. And I need tips on how to just stop talking. Just stop talking. I've tried to be mysterious, but unfortunately I'm a yapper and I never shut up. So what are your tips for making a good workplace impression when you are a chronic oversharer? I need this girl.
Okay, starting off strong. Love that. I thought you were gonna be like, okay, I love you, but like, I can't do this anymore. I can't listen to you speak for an hour anymore. It seems as though we have a fellow yapper on our hands because I am also a yapper, and I know what you're feeling and what you're thinking. But I think the beauty in this situation is that, first of all, you're obviously self-aware. Like, you know what you're like. So like, you could warn someone. Like, you could start talking, be like, by the way, I'm a yap, like make a joke about it. It's not like you're kind of like yapping, and you're being like really annoying, but you don't think that you are. Like, you know that it's annoying when you talk so much. By the way, I don't think it's annoying. I love a yapper. And this is what I've realized. I feel like people actually do, because a lot of times people don't want to share. But if there's like silence, they feel like they have to. But when I meet a fellow yapper and say I'm feeling a bit shy and they're yapping, I'm like, easy. You're yapping. I can listen. Like, I feel good about this. It's when they're like asking me questions and I'm like, oh, I have to talk. Then I get a little nervous. So I actually feel like it could be really beneficial for people. And I feel like it gets people like out of being shy. Like when you're just like talking and you're saying stuff and you're talking away, like people are like, okay, I can talk to her. Like, she's easy to talk to. She could talk to a wall. And I feel like that's actually a really good thing. So I wouldn't try to change who you are, because if you're a yapper at heart, be a freaking yapper at heart. That's fine. Be self-aware. Like, maybe read the room. And if you're like, I should not be yapping in this room, just remove yourself. Or like write down all your thoughts or something if you have to be quiet, and then you can talk about them out loud later. But like, really, it's like fine. Like, be who you are, and if that's a yapper, then be a yapper. I totally support it and I love it. And clearly I've made a career out of yapping, so I support you. This ad is sponsored by ByHeart. ByHeart is an infant nutrition company built from the ground up to deliver innovation on behalf of babies and parents. Their mission is simple, and it is one that I love: make the best formula in the world. This year, my friends at ByHeart, the only American-made formula with globally sourced ingredients to use organic, grass-fed whole milk, never skim, are celebrating the ways in which they never skim on anything, especially your babies. ByHeart never skims on healthy fats using only organic grass-fed whole milk, and whole milk is full of healthy fats like naturally occurring MFGM, which play an important role in babies' brain development and growth. ByHeart never skims on their standards. Their formula is made with certified clean ingredients, plus it has no soy, no corn syrup, no GMOs, or palm oil. All things that are very important that we love very, very much. If you're curious about ByHeart, redeem your welcome offer at byheart.com/podcast with code CircleTime20 for a limited time. Additional terms and conditions apply. Okay, so I feel like after having Otis, first of all, I feel like clothes fit me in a different way than they once did, but also like I kind of feel like I'm starting over almost, and like I have like a fresh start, and I want to revamp my clothes a little bit, try out some different styles, try new things, but I don't want to do like a complete closet expensive wardrobe overhaul, because that just doesn't make sense to me. And then I found Nuuly, and that has been an absolute game changer. I love it. So many of my friends love it, and it's just amazing. Nuuly is a subscription clothing rental service. So for just $98 a month, you get your choice of any 6 styles each month. So you can choose whatever you want to rent for whatever you have going on. Like, for example, this month I have a bachelorette party that I'm going to at the end of the month. So, like, I wanted to get some clothes for that. Or if you see a trend and you want to try out like this new style, but you're not sure how it would look on you, like this is the perfect way to try it and see if you like it. Plus, you have the option to buy what you love for sometimes up to 75% off. So then it could be yours forever, you know? You have access to thousands of styles from more than 400 brands, everything from party dresses to premium denim and one of a kind vintage pieces. Nuuly carries labels like Free People, For Love and Lemons, Anthropologie, Lisa Says Ga. So many amazing brands and so many amazing things to choose from. Plus, there's fast, free shipping and returns and professional cleaning in Nuuly's state-of-the-art laundering facility. So there's no laundry for you to have to worry about. And if you're like me and you spill on everything, it's okay, you know? It's fun, it's sustainable, it's flexible. There's no, like I said, damage fees in case you spill on yourself. There's no late fees or there's no fees to pause or cancel. So you're all good. It really is like such a game changer and so much fun, honestly. Nuuly is a great value at $98 a month for any 6 styles, but right now you can get $20 off your first month of Nuuly when you sign up with the code CircleTime20. Just go to nuuly.com, that's Nuuly with 2 U's, and enter the code CircleTime20 and sign up to get $20 off your first month. That's nuuly.com, Nuuly with 2 U's, with code CircleTime20. Nuuly subscription clothing rental. Change your clothes. Next up.
Hi, Kelsey. My name is Brianna. I am a huge fan. I've been listening to Circle Time podcast for as long as you've been making it. And I'm so excited for you and Cody to have your little baby. Oh my goodness, how exciting. I have a question about student teaching. I don't know if you did a full-time or part-time student teaching or how that worked for you since you did early childhood, but I'm studying elementary education and special education. So this quarter I'm in my half-time internship, and then next quarter I'll be in my full-time internship. And I am just wondering if you have any advice about how to get through student teaching, because it is a lot. And yeah, I don't know. Any advice would be greatly appreciated.
You know, the thing is, I didn't have to student teach. And so I actually did for one semester. I would say that one semester that I did, I had to go to an elementary school and student teach. And the one semester that I had to do that, like, was probably my most, like, disconnected from myself. And, like when I think about that, I'm like, what the hell was I even doing? Like, nothing crazy in my life was going on or anything. But I just was like, I don't know. Like, now that I think about it, it wasn't even like in the moment did I realize. Like, now that I think about it, I'm like, I was in a weird place. Like, I didn't really like know myself very well. I feel like I lost myself for a second in college there. And I like wasn't doing really great in school. Like, I couldn't focus on any of my classes. Like, my social life like was like the most important thing, and like I was just kind of like effing off, honestly, and wasn't like applying myself the way that I should. And so I feel like I don't even really remember when I was student teaching, because I just was like not there. Like, I would show up, but like I wasn't really helpful. So like, all that being said, if I could get through it then, you can get through it now for sure. It's kind of cool. You get it's not with every job can you go and like get a taste of what you can expect or what you would want to do different or what you'd want to change. Like, you get a little like test run at doing your future job, and that's pretty cool because you can see what you do want to incorporate, what you don't want to incorporate, what you do want to look for, what you don't want to look for. And I feel like try to embrace it. I know it's a lot with like classes and everything, but it's all getting you to the end game of like graduating and teaching for real. And like, nothing is permanent. So like, it might seem like a lot right now, but like, just keep pushing through. And before you know it, the semester will be over. The year you have to student teach will be over, and you'll miss the kids probably, because that's always what happens. But I don't really have that good of advice. I feel like just like, because you don't really have a choice, so you should at least like try and embrace it and like use it as like a learning for what you do or what you don't want in the future when you're teaching. You know? Okay. Let's do an anonymous one, but I'm scared.
Hey Kelsey! So I am kind of drunk, so if my words are kind of slurred, that is why. However, I have a wonderful story. So basically, one of my friends, let's just call her Ashley, she kind of had beef with this girl. Let's say her name is Megan, right? So she has beef with this girl named Megan. And Megan has been talking to Ashley's boyfriend named, let's say, Oscar. Okay? So Ashley and Oscar are dating, but Oscar and Megan are kind of talking. They just hang out. Nothing actually happens. However, Ashley and Megan get into a fight that pisses Ashley off. So Ashley decides to key Megan's car.
Oh, shit.
Okay? Just keys her car, like big slash. Like if you ran your fingers over it, you would feel the gash. Excuse me. You'd feel the gash in the car, right?
Wild.
Okay? So then fast forward like 2 months, just for shits and giggles, because Ashley's that type of person, she decides to slash it 8 more times. Just everywhere, and threatens to even slash her tires. So now we're trying to figure out, should we tell Megan? Should we let her know, or is it too late to actually let her know? Because she hasn't noticed yet, even though it's her own car. So let me know. Thanks.
Okay, when I said give me tea, you delivered, queen. That was anonymous, and obviously we are using anonymous, like different names here, but wow. Okay, first of all, how has she not noticed that her car has been keyed 8 times? And who did she threaten to slash the tires to if it wasn't Megan? Because it's her car. How did she not notice? I feel like you have to tell her. Right? Or like, I mean, it's kind of like power move. Like it's kind of like a power move to be like, I didn't even notice that you did that. Like, you're spending all your time keying my car, and I had honestly no clue. So, like, get a life. That is some tea. I feel like you should probably tell her, though, just so she knows what's going on. They must not be big. Like, how did she not notice? Okay, I would say tell her. Thank you so much for asking.
Hi, Kelsey. I just wanted to send you my love and congratulations, and I'm so glad that you're back, but also I'm so glad that you had time and that your beautiful, sweet baby is doing well and that you and Cody are doing well. And I just wanted to send you love and congratulations. And I hope everything continues to just be amazing. And everything that you've shared with us is just absolutely precious. It's such an exciting time, and I'm so happy for y'all.
Okay, that was so sweet. I love you. Thank you. Thank you all. You're the best.
Hello from New Zealand. I hope you and your little family are doing well. I was just wondering in regards to motherhood. My son is 4.5 months old, just over, and I was just wondering how you deal with feeling like you are doing good as a mum. Not that I want validation, but feeling like I'm doing. Like, how do you? I don't know what I'm saying. Do you have any advice as to how to feel like you're doing an adequate job as a mum? Thanks.
Ugh, that is such a good question. I feel like it is so easy, I have learned, because my baby is also 4 months. So I feel like I've just realized, like, how easy it is to doubt yourself on every single thing you do as a mom. Oh, look at that big chunk of hair I just pulled out. Anyway, it is so easy to just doubt whatever you're doing, because it's like, there's no, every baby is so different, and every experience is so different that there's no, like, cheat code. There's no rule book. Like, you kind of just have to, like, learn about your baby and learn what works for you and your family and your baby, and that's how you get by. And, like, that's why I'm always like, why are we, like, we can never judge another mom for what decisions she makes, because she's doing what's right for her family, what's right for her children. Hopefully that is the main reason to do anything. But like, so it's really easy to like take what you're doing and second guess it and think, is this the right thing to do? Am I doing a good job? But like, I really have struggled with that too, because like it's just hard, and like my breastfeeding journey didn't go the way I thought it would, and I was like, does he not even know I'm his mom because I couldn't breastfeed him for that long, and like, does he like, what is the deal? You know, like I felt kind of like lost, and so I totally understand what you're asking. But then I just look at it like every time he sees me, he gets the biggest smile on his face, and like I can tell he recognizes my voice. He looks over at me. He smiles. Like, he's eating. He's sleeping. Whether or not it's, like, doesn't matter in what kind of chunks he's sleeping. But, like, I just mean, like, he's getting his basic needs met. And, like, right now he's a baby, and that is, like, all you can do. And I just feel like as long as you are giving him like love, and the fact that you even called in because you care so much about that shows that you are doing an amazing job, you know? And so like, it's so easy to be so hard on ourselves during this time, but like, take a second and just realize like how much you're doing for your baby every day, and how happy he is to see you, and how content he is after he eats, or whatever it is. Like, just little things like that. Like, you are doing an amazing job. We all are doing an amazing job. And just like, we just need to keep taking it day by day. And some days are going to be harder than others. And some days, some things are going to be harder to figure out why he's upset about this. What hurts? Is it his tummy? What is it? Like, why isn't he sleeping? Stuff like that. But like, the fact that we're so in tune with our babies and we're taking the time to figure that stuff out already shows that we're great moms. You know? So you're doing amazing. I can promise you, because you wouldn't have called in if you didn't care, and you wanted, you know, to talk about that. And so I just feel like you're doing great, and I love you, and keep it up. Okay, next up.
Hi, Kelsey. My name's Julia, and I just graduated from college. And I was wondering if you had any advice on how to keep in touch with your friends from college after graduating, and then also how to just kind of make friends after college as well. Thanks!
Fun! A good way to keep in touch with your friends, I would say, is like a group chat. I know that's like such a lame response, but like I feel like I don't have like a close, like all of my close friends, we're all spread apart. But like we talk every single day in our group chat, and like it doesn't feel like we're far apart, and I feel like we always try to like make a plan to see each other and like have something coming up where we can see each other. So I would say like make plans that like actually happen, and also just keep the group chat alive. Like check in. They're your friends, you know, like they want to hear from you. They're not going to think you're annoying if you text and ask how everyone's day is going. Like just have like little conversations like that. Send pictures, send even like a voice memo. Like I feel like sending voice memos, like we listen, like sometimes my friends will be having like a chat, like a conversation over voice memo, and then I'll jump in, I can listen to it. It's like a little podcast of my friends chatting, and it's just so much fun. So I just feel like just keeping in touch in those little ways is really helpful. And with the technology that we have now, like I feel like it's so much easier to do that. So I highly recommend it. Like same with Cody, like all of him and his best friends are all spread apart, you know, and like his best friends from school, and they do such an amazing job keeping in touch. And like it's all because of their group chats, and like it's all just because like they make plans to see each other and it actually happens. So I would say doing that. And then when it comes to making friends outside of school, it always seems like so much more intimidating than it actually is, because I feel like your world opens up so much more after college, and like you'll start working and you'll start going out to bars or whatever it is like in your area, and you'll just meet people through that. I would like keep the door open to meeting. I feel like sometimes it's easy to be like, okay, I already have my friends, I don't need to make more, but like ask the person from work that you're like, that you kind of chat to, say, do you want to go grab a drink after work? And like you meet people. Like I've met people just through going out, and like that I've become friends with, or a friend of a friend. And I feel like recognizing when you have kind of like a connection with someone, and doing something about it. Like if I go to, like, back in the day, like say I would go to like a pregame and my friend's girlfriend is there and you guys are talking, you're like, oh, she's cool. Like, don't just like wait until the next time you're all together to see her. Be like, let's exchange phone numbers, let's go get lunch and actually do that, you know? And same with like your work friends. Like if you're getting along with someone at work, like ask them to go to a drink later and like just be like, I need more friends. Like, can we please hang out outside of work? And then they'll have friends that you'll meet and like your circle will grow. So just like put yourself out there and don't be afraid to ask someone to hang out, because I feel like going on friend dates is really scary, but it's always beneficial and everybody wants it. Everybody, but like a lot of people are just too scared to ask. So don't let it intimidate you like that. Oh my God, I'm out of breath from that.
Did you know that hair thinning will happen to approximately 1 in 2 women? If you're among them, know you're not alone. I promise. I am right there with you. Thinning is normal, but it's not openly talked about, and going through it can feel lonely and frustrating. Join the over 1 million people that are doing something about it with Nutrafol. You guys, if you've watched any of the recent episodes, I've talked about it pretty much every time, but I'm just chatting and, fiddling with my hair and it's all just falling out. And I know that's a postpartum thing, but it also was happening even before having Otis. So it's normal. You are not alone. I am right there with you. But Nutrafol is a game changer. It is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement, with over 1 million people seeing thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding. Everyone's root causes of hair thinning are different, so a one-size-fits-all approach to hair growth doesn't cut it. Nutrafol has multiple formulas that are tailored to give your hair what it needs to grow throughout different stages, such as postpartum, like I'm dealing with right now, and menopause, as well as for different lifestyles, such as plant-based diets. So there's always something for you. Take their hair wellness quiz on Nutrafol.com for a personalized hair health plan based on your specific root causes. And with Nutrafol, building a hair growth routine is simple. Purchase online, no prescription required, free shipping and automated deliveries ensure you'll never miss a day. It's that easy. See results, and you'll see results in 3 to 6 months. So take the first step to visibly thicker, healthier hair. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month's subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code CircleTime. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and hairstylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code CircleTime. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code CircleTime. So obviously, ever since having Otis, our day-to-day life looks a lot different and things are more chaotic than ever. And there really just isn't a lot of time in the day to do things, There's not a lot of time to get stuff done. But I also want to make sure that like Cody and I are taking care of ourselves and we're doing things that we've always loved doing, like cooking and eating delicious food. And thanks to HelloFresh, we're able to keep that up. I have talked about HelloFresh many times before. It is one of my favorite things. We absolutely love it. It's so easy to make delicious food a priority this spring with quick, convenient recipes delivered right to your door. Just choose your meals and select a delivery date, and HelloFresh handles all the meal planning, all the shopping, and most of the prep, so all you have to do is open your box and get cooking. What a time saver that is, Plus, all of the produce is fresh, seasonal produce picked at peak ripeness and delivered straight from the farm to your door. I swear, you guys, every meal we have made with HelloFresh is so delicious. Like, every single time we're shocked at how delicious it is. We love it so much. We can't believe how yummy it is, and also like how fresh everything is and how accomplished we feel after making it. It just makes things so much easier, especially now, and we really swear by it. So go to HelloFresh.com/CircleTimeSuite for free dessert for life. You heard it. Free dessert for life. 1 dessert item per box while subscription is active. That's free dessert for life at HelloFresh.com/CircleTimeSuite.
Hey, Kelsey. Big fan of the pod. Love you and Cody. I was wondering, how do you deal with being someone who is overly sensitive and easy to take a lot of stuff, I guess personally is the word, but yeah, just being someone who's overly sensitive, because sometimes I feel like it's the greatest joy of my life because I can easily connect with people, and then sometimes it's hard to detach from my emotions. So yeah, it's that, and paired with, I think, being a highly anxious person. Yeah, just curious about your thoughts. Thanks. Love you. Bye.
Okay, love that question. And I love your voice. You sound like very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like very put together or like emotionally mature. So don't be too hard on yourself, because I always try to like not, and I don't always do a great job of this, but like if you're upset about how someone's acting about a situation or acting towards you, like I realize that a lot of the times I'm upset because like I'm trying to control it, and you can't control anyone except for yourself. The only thing you can control is how you react to a certain situation. A lot of the times I get upset because I'm like, they shouldn't be doing that. They shouldn't be acting like that. They shouldn't be doing this thing, but like that is how they're reacting to it. And like you can't take on someone else's life. Like you just the only person you can control is yourself. So like something that has helped me be overly sensitive about situations is like, is there anything I can do to change this? No. Okay, so I'm going to like let go of this situation, and I can only control like what affects me and how I react to it. So I try to like remove myself from certain situations and things that like I don't have any control over. Something that helps me, and I don't know if this is like for this exact situation, but it's like how that person handled that is not a reflection on me. It's a reflection on them, and there's nothing I can do about it. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It's kind of the same thing, but like it is amazing to be emotional and to be in touch with your emotions and to be sensitive about situations and be sensitive about other people's feelings. But that's really where you can only, like, that's all you can do. Once it's in someone else's hands and how they react to it is out of your control, and you can't take that on because, like I said, it's not on you, it's on them. So that's kind of what I try to do. And I don't even know if like that made any sense, because it's kind of like I forgot how to speak all of a sudden. But that would be my advice for that.
Hey girl, first of all, I love you so much. Always have, always will. You're amazing and beautiful, and I love watching you in your mom era. It's so inspiring. My dilemma for you is that I have had a friend for several years now, probably 4 to 5 years. We've been pretty close throughout it all. Other than this past year, things got kind of awkward. I got engaged, and it almost feels like maybe there's some sort of jealousy or competition that I just don't really understand. And I haven't addressed it because I don't know how. And I'm just wondering if maybe our friendship has fizzled out and it served its purpose and I should let it go, or if I should say something and have the conversation. But part of me just doesn't know what to do. I've never had a friendship kind of fall out like this. So have you ever had that kind of experience, and what advice would you give me? Thank you so much.
That's tricky, especially because, you know, it's like a really happy time in your life, and it's like, it feels weird because like you're like, why aren't you happy for me? But you want to be sensitive to how they feel also. What if they're going through something? What if they're feeling a certain way? So it's like definitely tricky. I feel like, because you're like, should I just let it fizzle out, or should it be something that I talk to them about? I mean, this is the thing, like friendships do fizzle out. That is like a normal part of life. It's something that happens. But I do feel like, is this a friendship that you want to continue having? Before this happened, were you like, was this friendship fulfilling you? Was it filling your cup up with joy? Like, was it a good friendship to be in? Did it feel good? Did it make you feel good? You have to think about those things, because if it was a friendship that you were happy to be a part of and that you are sad to see this happen to, then it's absolutely worth having a conversation. If you're looking back and you're like, they've actually always kind of made me feel weird about every single thing that, like every single good thing that's happened, and I feel like I can't talk to them, and I feel like if you're reflecting back and you're like, they've actually never really been a good friend, they've never made me feel good, then maybe it's just time for it to fizzle. But like, being engaged and getting married, it's such an exciting, important, fun time in your life, and this is the kind of thing that can like make it feel heavy when it shouldn't. And so like this, it could easily be solved with a conversation. Just like a, hey, I feel like things have been weird lately. I don't know why. Like, can we just talk about it? It feels like since I got engaged, and don't be like, I feel like you're jealous. Like, just say like, it feels like around my engagement, ever since then, like it just feels like things have been weird between us. And I just want to make sure everything's good, because like, I want you to be a part of this part of my life with me. And it makes me sad that I feel like we're drifting apart. And see how they react. Because like you want to say that you tried. If this friendship is important to you, then you should try. You're going to look back on your wedding forever, and you want this to be something that you just kind of like dealt with and you moved on from. And one way or another, I feel like facing it head on and figuring it out and talking to them is the best situation. And you can see from their reaction if it's like a friendship that is worth pursuing, or if you're like, okay, maybe they're just actually not really a great friend, you can move on. But having it be like up in the air is just going to feel heavy on your shoulders. So good luck, but it's going to be okay.
Hi Kelsey, my name's Keely. I just wanted to know if you had any tips on how to stay active, because I can be a bit of a lazy girl a lot of the time, and you always look really great. So I wanted to know if you had any tips on how to stay motivated or what exercises you like to do. Hope you have a great day. Love you. Bye.
Okay, that is really kind. I thank you so much for saying that. You know, this just got me thinking. Like, I feel like a lot of times you look in the mirror and you're so hard on yourself and you're picking out every single possible thing that's wrong with you. And you're just so hard on yourself because you're looking at yourself through such a critical lens. But then you look at anyone else and they could look the exact same as you, but you don't see any of those critical bad things. You just see like a beautiful person. And I feel like we need to start looking at ourselves with the lens that we look at other people through, instead of like the critiquing, critical, mean one that we look at ourselves with, you know, because it's just really unfair. And like, we should always be speaking so kindly to ourselves because that's the most important relationship we have. And like, I'm just saying this because like I've fallen victim to it, especially now after having a baby. Like, I look at myself and I'm like, well, that person just had a baby. Why do they look like that? And I look like this. Whereas like to a blind eye, they're not pointing out all these things that I'm finding wrong with myself because they're not actually wrong with myself. I'm just being overly critical. So we need to start looking at ourselves through like the lens that we would look at our best friends through, or our children through, or our whoever, or siblings through. Like, we have to give ourselves that grace and that same love that we would give to anyone else. Okay. So sorry, just went on that rant, but really I feel like I'm kind of a lazy girl too. Is the only thing I've been able to be consistent at is Pilates. And it took me a really long time to find something that I actually feel excited to do. And that's been the main thing that's kept me being able to work out, is like actually enjoying the thing that I'm doing. Because for a long time it was like, oh no, you hate working out. You'll never like working out. So there's no point. But it's like, no, you just have to find the thing that's right for you. I realized I didn't like doing certain things. So I found something that didn't incorporate them. And now I'm so much happier working out. So like, or doing like the 12-3-30 on the treadmill. Like, I wanted to run on the treadmill. And then I hated running on the treadmill, but I was like, but I like walking. So I found a walking exercise on the treadmill that actually makes me break a sweat, you know? So it's like finding things like that. And then like actually, that makes it actually much more enjoyable, instead of like thinking that you just hate it all, so you don't ever want to do it, you know? Next question.
Hey Kelsey, it's Madison, or Maddie. As someone who just graduated college, how do you go about navigating working a full-time job and accepting that you're not like free to do as much anymore, and kind of having to jump into the real world and trying to navigate money and move out with like a boyfriend and stuff like that? I hope Otis is doing good. Bye.
Thank you. He's doing great. I don't know. I actually found a different kind of freedom after I graduated college and started working. Like, yes, you have a job and like you need to show up to work every single day and ask for time off and all of those things. But at the same time, like, you show up to work and you do your thing and then you go home and you can forget about it. Whereas for school, you have tests, you have papers, you have assignments, you have homework. Like, you have stuff you need to do to be able to graduate. Whereas like work, you go in, you do your job, you come home, and you can do whatever you want, you know? And you're making money, so you have a little bit more freedom to do certain things. Make sure you're spending. I know you asked for advice on that, and I just like really have struggled. Like it's hard. You just have to like I feel like budgeting and like using like budget apps and stuff like really helped me at the beginning, because I would struggle with that too. And so I just looked up kind of like best way to budget. And you can also listen to my episode with Nicole. That was a while ago, but she talks about budgeting too. So you can listen to that, and there's some really good tips in there. But I feel like you just kind of have to like realize that your freedom is still there. It's just in a different form. So don't feel like you're like a prisoner to your work. And also like I feel like a lot of times it's really easy to be like, no, I can't do anything fun on weeknights. Like I have work the next day, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, you still have to be able to like give yourself time to do the things that you enjoy. And yes, waking up early and going to work the next day might kind of suck. I'm not saying like, do anything too crazy. I'm just saying like, if you want to go to dinner with your friends on a Wednesday night and you have work in the morning, like that's okay, because you're like another part of you is being like fulfilled, You have to make time for the other things in life that make you happy still besides your job, because it's easy to just fall into the trap of working. So make time for the things that you enjoy, and don't let work become this like overbearing thing that you can't focus on anything else. You can't do anything else fun because you have work, because that's not the only important thing in life. That's the advice I would say for that. Okay, next up.
Hey Kelsey, I love the pod and congratulations. I'm just calling to ask for some advice. I am like having the biggest beef with my sister. My sister and I have been like best friends since day one, and it seems like right now I'm feeling so distant from her. She's like in this very toxic relationship that I'm trying to like guide her in the right way, but she's not like taking any of my advice, which is fine. I just want her to hear it and like consider it. But I'm feeling like really upset with the whole situation, and I don't know. You give the best advice, so I thought I'd reach out to you.
That just is so tough, and I feel like I might not even have that great of advice for this, because it's like, how do you even navigate that? I think that the most important thing is focusing on just your relationship with your sister. I think like right now it feels like you can see clearly what's going on, and so you're trying to get her to hear you and for her to get out of a certain situation, but like she's in that and she can't see certain things right now, but she's going to need her sister when she does start to realize these certain things, and you have to be able to be there for her. And she can't feel like she's alone. If she feels like you're against her, she won't feel comfortable turning to you and talking to you about things when she starts to realize what's going on, And so you have to show her that you're there for her no matter what. And I know it's really frustrating when someone's like not taking your advice and they're not listening to you, and you're just watching them like do this thing that they shouldn't be doing, but they're doing it anyway. And it's like so heart-wrenching, and just like you're just like kind of mad, and you're like, you don't want to deal with them. You don't want to hear about it, but like you have to show up for her even though it's frustrating. And like you have to let her know that you're there for her, and like you support her because she's an adult and she can make decisions for herself, and you're there for her no matter what that decision is. Because like the truth will come out, and she will realize like what is wrong with her relationship and like how she can change that. But like she doesn't want to be like, okay, I've realized this, but now I feel like I can't talk to anyone because my sister's just going to say, told you so, and I'm embarrassed or whatever. Like you have to be there for her. She has to feel like you're still a safe space. And I know that's not that easy, and I know it's not easier said than done, but like your relationship with her is the most important part. You don't want her to feel like she's alienated or like she's alone, So I know it's not easy, and it's just so hard watching someone you love like be in something that you don't think they should be in, but you have to be there for them regardless, no matter what.
Hi, Kelsey. Congrats on our baby boy.
I'm recently going through a breakup, and we broke up over kind of like location differences of where we want to live and religious differences. And it's just been kind of hard because a lot of things were really great in our relationship, and we both thought that we were going to end up together. And then it ended kind of abruptly. So I was just wondering if you had any advice on how to make the breakup better through those differences. Or if you've ever experienced anything like that in your life, anything would be helpful. Thank you. Love your pod.
Thank you. I have gone through similar things. I think the most important part about like when you're in a relationship, not the most important part, but it's really important because I feel like a lot of times people look for reasons why they should or shouldn't be with a certain person, or they're really hard. There's really a lot of like deal breakers, or they have a list of these things and they expect their person to have this, and this. And if they don't have it, then they break up with them. And I feel like a lot of those, like some of those things are things that you can look past if you find the right person. Whether that's like you want a guy who like sleeps with the cold air. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that's like not that important. That like yes, that is not what you prefer, but you love them and you can look past that. Then there are certain things like where you live, if you really love where you live and you don't want to move, or which I also think sometimes that can even be changed, but religious differences, morals, values, things like that are really they're not hard to change. They're just not things that you should want to change in someone. Like if you guys see you see things differently. So you brought up religion. Say you have two different religious views and neither one of you are willing to change your beliefs, which is okay. But those aren't the kind of compromises you should make. You should find someone who you're on the same page as for those kind of things. You know what I mean? Just someone who like you're not trying to change completely. And I think it's like location and religious beliefs being different are two very, very valid reasons to not be with someone. And they're exact reasons why I have gotten out of relationships. It's not fair to yourself and it's not fair to the person that you're with if you believe in different things or you want different things because of religion or whatever it is. Like it's not fair to try to make someone something that they're not. And I think that it's really important to realize that you're doing the right thing. And although there were a million other reasons why it could have worked out, in the end, this is something that would have brought you guys down anyway. So it's really good and it's good for the two of you. And it's good to keep things amicable that you realize that it wouldn't work out in the long run. And I know it's probably frustrating and confusing and weird, but you're definitely doing the right thing. And that's okay. You will find someone who checks all of those boxes that you thought this other person checked, but also like you believe in the same things, or you won't have to change them to try to force them to believe what you believe, because that's not what you should spend your life trying to do. You will realize that there's other people out there who you're more on the same page as with those important things, that you'll realize why it didn't work out this time. And those important things, there are certain things that are deal breakers. There are a lot of things that don't need to be. There are a lot of things that you can grow to love about a person that maybe you thought you wouldn't like. But because nobody's perfect, like no relationship is perfect. But then there are big things like that maybe just are never going to change and shouldn't have to change. And you guys can both find people that are better suited for you and your lifestyle and your beliefs. And I think you're doing the right thing, although it might seem confusing right now.
Hi, Kelsey. How do you feel about going viral for I Have Purse? That's it. Bye-bye.
Well, I actually talked about this in the last episode. It's so weird. And it will never not be weird. So that's really it. That's kind of all I have to say about that. But it is really cool. I get really like nervous about it. So like if I ever see someone like make a video like using the sound, like I don't comment on it or anything because I'm like, what am I going to say? Love it. I don't know. Connor's way better at that than I am. So I'm like, I'll just let Connor speak for the both of us. But I do love seeing the recreations of it. So keep it up. I love it.
Hey girl, just wanted to give you a little, advice so you don't have to throw up in your purse. What I do is I bring a little plastic baggie out with me because I also get sick in the car. And I have used that plastic bag to throw up in it. Just make sure that it doesn't have any holes in it. Yeah, you only need to make that mistake once. But super happy for you and Cody. Love Otis, so cute, and loving your mother vlogs. Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Oh my God, I did not know where that was going. I was like, oh no, did I say, what word was that? That I said wrong, that I didn't say wrong, but someone told me I said it wrong because I mumble. Okay, really good advice. Love the preemptive bag, just packing a to-go bag for your vom. That's kind of goals. The thing with me is like, I feel like I'm kind of like asking for it if I bring one, but at the same time, like I cannot throw up in my purse again. That was a disaster. And I don't know that it's salvageable. Like, I'm having a hard time getting that smell out, and I'm trying, like, I've washed my purse like 8 million times. But that is really good advice. Bring a bag just in case. And I will do that because I never want to make that mistake again. It was horrifying and terrible. So thank you so much for that advice. I will be taking that. Okay. I think we can do one more. One more. One more. One more.
Hi, Kelsey. My name is Rush. I'm a huge fan of the podcast.
That's a cool name.
Listening to it every week. I wanted to get your opinion on how to make teaching a sustainable career. I am a first-year teacher this year. I teach first grade, and I have become pretty burnt out pretty quickly. There are a lot of things I love about this career, but it is very challenging carrying the weight of these kids' home lives, their academics, and their social emotional experience at school. I bring home a lot of work every day, even when I try my best not to. And when I don't, I'm still thinking about the kids, wondering if they're safe and okay. So I know that you were a teacher before you did YouTube and your podcast. So what did you do when you were teaching to make it a sustainable career and avoid burnout and take care of yourself? Thanks. Love you.
Okay. That is the sweetest thing ever. This kind of is similar to the one about knowing that you're doing a good job being a mom. But I feel like even the fact, like, did you just hear yourself? That is so amazing. You are doing such an amazing, amazing thing by taking care of these kids and giving them a safe space and being there for them and obviously caring so much about them. So I need you to realize how amazing you are and how amazing you're doing. I totally remember feeling so similarly to this, and it's really hard because it's like you can't like turn it on and off in your brain. But like there is only so much that you have control over. And so making the environment for them when they're in school, when they're under your watch, making that as positive and fulfilling of an environment, as safe of an environment as possible for them, that's really all you can do, because there are certain things that are just out of your control, unfortunately. But like giving them a safe space in school is so important, and like that you do have control over. So do that, but try, like, it's really easier said than done, but like there's only so much that's in your control. And so make that special and safe and worth it. But like when you go home, you need to remember that like if you're feeling burnt out, if you're feeling exhausted, like that's the version of you that they're going to get the next day when you want to be creating like a safe and calm environment for them. So go home and do things for yourself. Do things that make you happy, like whether it's seeing a friend or eating at a certain restaurant you like, or taking a workout class, or like even as simple as watching a show that you like every night with like your favorite snack. Like you have to take that time for yourself because it will reflect how you are in the classroom. And so like do those things for yourself. And while you might think like, why am I spending my time doing this? I should be doing A, B, and C for work. A, B, and C for work will not happen in the way that you want it to if you're not doing those things for yourself. So take the time to do them, because really you are doing it for your job. You are doing it for yourself. Like, you need to be fulfilled as a person before you can be like a great teacher or great at whatever job it is that you're doing. So prioritize yourself, prioritize things that you like, and make that time for them, because it will reflect how you feel in the classroom. And you're doing amazing, and like, teachers are just the best. And I love all of you teachers very, very much. And thank you for what you do. And that's the final question for the day. We have so many, and I love doing this, so we will continue to do this. And thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I love you all. I am here for you all, and you're just the best. Thank you for circling. And I'm about to pee my pants, so I'm going to go. But love you. See you next time. Bye.
It's circle time. Let's have some fun. I said it's circle time. Just you and I. Time.
Please note that this episode may contain paid endorsements and advertisements for products and services. Individuals on the show may have a direct or indirect financial interest in products or services referred to in this episode.